Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Factopedia USA. I want to extend a very warm welcome to each and every one of you once again. Today, we have a special video prepared especially for those of you who are fascinated by true stories of ghosts, spirits, and paranormal events. The incident we're going to discuss today is so unusual and mysterious that it indeed took place. It's about an extraordinary event where a ghost ended up saving the lives of all the passengers on a flight. So, dear friends, let us begin today's video and delve into this fascinating horror story. It happened with Eastern Airlines in the year 1972. Flight 40 on Lockheed L-101 TriStar plane flew from New York to Miami with 163 passengers and 13 crew members. This one was a new and advanced aircraft in which modernity, technology, and comfort were given full attention. Captain Bob Loft and flight engineer Don Drapp were experienced crew members of this flight. But this Flight 1 became a part of such a mystery, which will always be remembered in aviation history. It was the night of 29 December 1972. The plane started its journey successfully, but when near Miami, when approaching for landing, the cockpit crew noticed that the landing gear indicator light was not lit. If this light was lit, it meant that the landing gear was jammed. It was very difficult to find out whether the landing gear was really jammed or the flight was faulty during a flying flight. The captain set the plane to autopilot, and the entire crew started looking for a solution to this problem. But Flight 1 was making a gradual descent due to an unknown propulsion. The crew members were so busy fixing the landing gear light that they ignored the altitude. He did not provide any information. By the time the crew realized the plane's altitude, it had already crashed into the swampy area of the Florida Everglades, resulting in the tragic death of 111 individuals. Both Don Repo and Captain Loft lost their lives in this unfortunate incident as well. Following the crash, a comprehensive investigation was conducted, and every part of the plane was meticulously collected. The parts deemed reusable were installed in another aircraft belonging to the Eastern Airlines company. By this point, you might be wondering why we mentioned at the start of the video that it was about a ghost. Tragically, the lives of all the passengers aboard the plane were lost. It's all about ensuring the safety of the passengers. However, nothing of the sort occurred in this situation. Now, a few years following this incident, we encounter another aircraft from Eastern Airlines, TriStar 301, which was fully prepared to depart from New York, heading towards Florida. On board the plane were 187 passengers along with 12 crew members. After the flight took off, not long after, flight attendant Mary Weather rises from her seat to assist a passenger. Suddenly, she notices the reflection of an unknown man in the glass before her, dressed in the identical uniform as an Eastern Airlines crew member. Mary was wearing a mask. When Mary saw this unfamiliar face, she was completely terrified. It was as though her feet were frozen in place. However, after a while, she managed to gather some courage and went to one of her fellow attendant colleagues to share everything about what she had seen. To help Mary clear up this doubt, the other flight attendant accompanied Mary back to the same glass. That attendant initially believed that everything was just a misunderstanding on Mary's part. But upon reaching the glass, both Mary and her fellow attendant's eyes widened in disbelief. Because once again, that shadow appeared in the glass, was approaching, but it wasn't really there. Mary's companion felt extremely frightened. However, he observed that the shadow in the glass appeared to be attempting to communicate with them. Mary's fellow attendant sensed that the shadow was trying to alert them about an impending danger. By its gestures and lip movements, it seemed as though the shadow was urging them to land the flight right away. While they were experiencing all these feelings, warning signs and alarms began to sound from the cockpit of the flight. The pilot of the flight noticed that the dashboard was indicating an issue with the plane's engine, was giving signal of some fault. On seeing this, the flight was immediately made to make an emergency landing at the nearest airport. After landing, the problem in the flight's engine was checked. But in this checkup, it was found that there was no major problem in the engine. The warning alarm had rung due to just one small technical fault. This technical fault in the plane's engine was immediately fixed and the plane was test run as per safety protocol. During this test, as soon as the plane took off, the left engine of the plane exploded in the air like a bomb. There was a blast in the flight itself. But due to there being no passenger in the flight, a major accident was avoided. After this incident, Mary and her friend told their other colleagues about the incident that happened with both of them during the flight and how an unknown person had already told them about the problem in the plane that day. While talking about the crash history of East Line's company, they started looking at the pictures of the crew members who died in the accident of Flight 401. As soon as Mary saw the picture of one of them, she started crying, and his companion's eyes were wide open, filled with surprise. The face of the person in this picture matched exactly with the shadow that both of them had seen in the glass that day. This picture was of Don Repo, the flight engineer of Flight 401. There was one more thing in this entire incident which was quite special. Plane Trust 301 was among those few planes in which the parts left after the crash of Flight 401 were installed. And during the incident, one student saw Don Repo in the flight class cabin. Initially, he thought that this was just a regular passenger, but as soon as the student went closer, Repo spoke to him and mentioned that occasionally he needed to come here to assist. Following that conversation, he vanished unexpectedly to an unknown location. In a separate event, Captain Loft's face became visible on the cockpit screen. The crew initially believed they were experiencing hallucinations. However, when the maintenance engineer confirmed he had also witnessed Loft's face, it left everyone in disbelief. On numerous occasions, both crew members and passengers sensed an unusual chill and the presence of someone else within the aircraft. Repo and Loft were both reportedly seen on the same planes that carried parts salvaged from Flight 401. Parts were used. One mystery remains unsolved. To this day, no scientific explanation exists for the crash of Flight 401 and the ghost sightings. Yet those who recount their encounters with Don Repo and Captain Left believe they came to protect people even after death. Friends, this was today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and share it with your friends. Your thoughts and feedback are very important to us. So below, please share your thoughts in the comment section about how you found this video, and feel free to suggest what topic you would like us to cover next. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon to receive notifications for our latest videos right away. We will continue to bring you engaging and informative content. So stay connected with us. We will be back soon with another new mystery and a new mishti. Until then, goodbye.